You should have a paper that looks like this. It has front and back. I believe there's 72 games on here. You'll see the same pattern, but I wanted to include this one because this shows the bottom line is 26.43. If you total those all up and divide them by that 72 games, it comes out 26.43. But yet I've highlighted the games where I did not score 26, and they are the majority. See? And so the bottom line is actually telling me a fib. See? Most of my games it doesn't apply to. And again, you'll notice the times I'm over 26, looking down this column, there's a 29.2, a 35.1, a 30.4, a 30.6, a 30.8, a 32.5, a 37.2. See? There's some of those that are way over 26. And the ones that are under are quite close. So the bottom line gets distorted. And once that pattern became obvious to me, I said, well, gee, most of the games I play, I'm not making the theory of 26. The object is still to win the game. So if I'm going to win the game, then I got to quit thinking about this hole 17 and so on, and I need to extend that zone by 5 holes. That's where we're headed. I hope you'll find this a little easier to understand than the par holes and the non-par holes, and because I think you can apply it in the game. And how many here said they have Hell's Crib? Okay. Hell's Crib actually has incorporated my CPZs, critical position zones, in there, and you can actually punch it on your menu, and it will color a portion of your cribbage board in front of your pegs, where it is that you need to be. And it will move as your pegs move on the board. That's the critical position zone, 5 holes.
Raz?
Yeah.
Could you say a few words about Hell's Crib? Can you choose teaching options? What sorts of things will it help you to do besides just get up opponent?
Okay, the question is, what kinds of things might Hell's Crib teach you to do? It will show you what is the best card to play in terms of offensive pegging. If you check that as your goal on this particular hand, that you want to have offensive pegging, the card will actually be highlighted that you should play for offensive pegging. If you check defensive pegging, which is another column, then it will show you the defensive way to play this hand in pegging. It will show you all of the discards that are possible in a hand. You pick up 6 cards, you're not sure, it's your crib, but you're not sure which is the best possible discard you have to go to your crib. So you punch up here on toss cards or something that says like that, keep toss. You punch on that and it brings up a little chart in the middle of your crib board, and it shows all of the possible discards out of these 6 cards. Shows all the possible ones. The good ones and the bad ones. You punch on the little thing that says optimal, it'll arrange them, high scores to low scores, and the best discard will be at the top. If it's your opponent's crib, the same thing. Fourth position, same thing. The computer is designed so that it knows when you should be playing offense and when you should be playing defense. The information, actually if there were more of you that had it, we would do a class just on it, because it's something, I've probably been working with it for 10 years, I think. This is the 17th edition, pretty close, and it takes me I'm fortunate enough, because I do a lot of research for him and give him feedback on his program, that I get a free customized copy once a year. But it is spendy. But in terms of a vehicle that a player can learn from, no matter how good they think they are, This opened my eyes up to a number, just to give you an example. For years, if I picked up a 1-2, 5-jack, and a 7-8, I'd put the 5-jack in my crib every time. Huh. Hal's crib puts a 7-8. Why? 5-jack has a higher average. 7-8's open on both ends. So I did 100 simulations. I thought, well, his is supposed to be based on, I don't know, a couple million samples. So I did 100 simulations. 7-8 come out better every time. Even though the 1-2, 7-8 has better pegging potential, the 5-jack has a higher crib average than does the 7-8. 100 times simulated every time. I've done it 4 or 5 times and always worked the same. So I've changed. I've changed. I play the hand different now. The combined value will be greater putting the 2 consecutive middle cards that are worth 2 in the crib. So that's the kind of, that's pretty technical. That's pretty technical. I think most folks could play a lifetime with that particular hand and not think they were making a mistake at all. It's a kind of a small mistake, but you know this game, all these little differences are just a few hundredths of a point, each decision we make. When you start looking at how does it discard, like a 6-9 to my crib, how much difference is there in a 6-9 of the same suit as opposed to a 6-9 of different suits? 3/100ths of a point. See, that's a very small difference. But what you get into in the average game of cribbage is maybe 200 to 400 decisions relative to discarding, pegging, and board position. And each of those has a value. See? So if you're making a higher percentage of correct decision, then you're picking up these little half-point advantages here and there. And over 1,000 games, 100 games, they make a huge difference, even though you might not see that difference in 9 games.
Wow.
It's such a small, when you start looking at what is the difference between a mediocre cribbage player and a national champion. It's usually about 4 percentage points. The mediocre players winning about 55%, and the national champions winning 59%. There's very small differences. Okay. So, you have a paper there, this -8-4.